So I'm out behind my house, and I was thinking about how if we were in school, I would be teaching you how to use a microscope, which I do have at my house. Oh, I'm trespassing right now. Sorry. But anyway, so I do have a microscope. I just don't have anything really good to look at that you haven't seen a picture of already. And I wanted to teach about single-celled organisms. So I'm going to go back down here. I can do this without dying, because there's an old cranberry bog back here. And it's got some really gross water. And I don't know if you know this, but sometimes you can find some cool living things in really gross water. So I'm looking specifically for single-celled organisms that are eukaryotic, like we are, meaning they have a nucleus. So here's the gross water. I don't know if you can see that. This is an old cranberry bog canal. And I'm just going to come down. Here's an old board here, I guess from when people used to cross over here, but that hasn't happened in a while that I know of. I'm going to take my little thing of water. I'm going to collect just a little bit of this water. Oops, I'm falling here. All right, so see, I only need a little bit of this water because just in this amount of water, there can be a whole lot of living single-celled organisms. So let's take a look. So here I have my home microscope, and I just want to point out some of the parts of it. So here we have the eyepiece, and you can see here it says it's 10 times, meaning that just this lens magnifies things 10 times, so they're 10 times bigger than they really are. And then down here we have 3 other lenses. These are called the objectives, and you can see this one here magnifies 4 times, and they work in combination. So 4 times 10 is 40, so when you're using this objective, things will be 40 times bigger. Then there's the yellow one, which I think you can see says 10, so that would be in combination with the eyepiece, 10 times 10, so 100 times bigger. And then this one, which sounds really exciting but is the hardest to use, multiplies things 40 times, which in combination with the eyepiece is 400 times bigger, which sounds great, but it can be kind of tricky to use, especially in middle school, but I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so this is called the stage. This is where you put your slide. These are called stage clips, and you can lift them up and clip them down over your slide. Here's a slide right here. So a slide is just a piece of glass, it can be plastic, that you should always hold by the edge so you don't get your prints on it. And it will go on the stage under the stage clips. You would put it on like that with your specimen on it. Okay, and then this is the light. So it turns that light on, which shines up through the stage there and into the lens. Some microscopes, the one I used when I was in 6th grade in Mr. Yarjo's class, who was an awesome science teacher, had a mirror instead of a light. So what you would have to do is the mirror could turn. So you would want to catch a beam of light, which is of course going in straight lines, and reflect it off the mirror at the same angle up through the stage here. You can dim that light. So this, if you turn this thingy, it can make it a little less bright, which can actually make it easier to see some things. And I had to use this feature when I prepared the slide of the microorganisms that we're going to look at. Okay, when you want to focus, this is the coarse adjustment knob, and there are some microscopes that have another fine adjustment knob. You'll always do the coarse one first and then the fine one. This one doesn't have that. The ones we have at Monomoy, some are just like this one, and others have both the coarse and fine adjustment. And you know, other than that, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to show you how to make a slide next. Okay, I have my bog water sample. So when you're using living things, there's different ways to make slides, and when you're using living things, it's pretty straightforward. So I just take my eyedropper, or medicine dropper as it's sometimes called, science dropper, and I put a really pretty small droplet of water on there. Now, that's pretty much all there is to making a slide in this case. If we were looking at our inside of our cheek cells, which I normally would be, or at onion cells, I would put dye in this because cells are usually transparent, and without the dye, it's really hard to see them. Anyway, then I would put my slide on here, okay, with the stage clips. I would turn on the light, and you'll see that I have this here at the number 4 objective, so always start with that one. Now, I would look through the eyepiece, and I would turn the coarse adjustment knob. So this microscope, when you turn the knob, it raises the stage up. So let's say, and you'll see this in the movie, I look at it, and they're pretty tiny little things through the number 4 objective. You always start with the number 4 objective because think about if you're trying to find something, and if you're looking for something, like let's say you couldn't find your shoes, you would not stare at one spot on the floor like this. This is my floor. Looking and be like, where are my shoes? No, you would scan the room looking for your shoes, right? You would be looking all over the place. And that's why you use the number 4, because it lets you see kind of a wide area. But let's say you found some cool things. Now I want to change it to the 10. So I always would get down to this level and I would look, because what can happen, which I'm sure you can see here, is that once you get to the longer objective, you can, when you go to click it into the place, you can crush the slide, which is a total bummer. So I'm going to turn the number 10 in there, and I'm going to duck down while I do it to make sure I am not touching the slide or the specimen, which I am not. Great. Now let's say I look at a few things here. I adjust my slide, and I'm like, okay, great. Now I've found something really cool and I want to see it in detail. That's when you might switch to the number 40. So I would again be looking at what I'm doing, because I can tell you, I think I'm going to touch this specimen. Oh, no. Oh, see, I'm almost going to touch it. So I would have to bring the stage down a little bit. This is why I can get tricky with the 40. Also, it's like staring in the smallest little place. And sometimes when you're looking at living things, they just swim, you know, they're swimming actually pretty fast. Okay, so I would click it, and then I would adjust it from there. Or really, if I had the fine adjustment knob on my microscope, I would use that at this point. But anyway, that's pretty much it. When you look through here, you're going to see there's a pointer inside. It's a black stick. And that you could use to point something out to another person, maybe. So anyway, we will look at the little creatures next. Pretty cool. You can see some things swimming around there. Now, I only have it on the number 4 magnification, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to change the objective and go up to 10. So we'll check it out and see if we can see them closer. Okay, and when I go from 4 to 10, I'm going to duck down to the side like this so I can see. I'm just going to shift the 10 into place. Ooh. See how it gets kind of close to the slide, but it's not touching it, so we're good. And then I have to focus it, so I'm going to turn the knobs here. You can see me turning them, and I will check out my tablecloth while I... Oh, whoa, okay, yeah. Super duper. Okay, see if you can see this. No. Okay, here they are under 10, magnification 10. Seem to be the same little guys swimming around. Or actually, I see 2 different things maybe. I'll have to take a closer look while I'm not filming. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to put it up to 40. Okay, so when I move to 40, I'm worried that the number 40 objective will actually touch the water. And if that's the case, I'm going to back it off. Okay, so I'm going to put the stage down. I'm going to click that into place. I'm going to put the stage up. That's as far as I can go without touching the water droplet. Let's see what it looks like inside. All right, that was the one thing I could find under 40. The thing is, they fly by so fast when you're zoomed in so close up. So there's one guy. Really hard to get film of that. I didn't know I was going to become a filmmaker this year. I would have studied a little harder. But anyway, pretty cool. All right. Oh, wait, there's another dude over there. Having a hard time getting it in the shot. All right, there's some algae there, too. All right, looks pretty cool. Oh, wait, who's this coming by? There's another little dude. Hey, dudes. Don't worry, I'm going to put you back in the creek where you belong. Because she was kind to bugs. Okay, bye.